Well, we've got a rather interesting Dr. Russ airgun adventure for you today, and you're going to get involved trying to guess what guns I'm shooting, so be ready. I wanted to talk primarily today about the 7 passions of airguns, and maybe there's more than 7. I thought there were only 3, and then some of you brought it to my attention. There was a 4th one, a 5th one. I've identified 7 shooting air rifle passions, and if you know some more, please share them with me. Now, I'm talking about shooting passions. I'm not talking about like maintenance. Some people are just into maintenance. Others are into collecting and displaying. I respect those. I'm guilty of them myself. But I'm talking about shooting passions. So before I get you into guessing which guns I'm shooting, let's take a look at those targets. Well, each one of these balloons, 7 of them, represents what I think are the 7 passions of air guns. And we're going to shoot each one of these balloons with one of my 80 air guns that I think I do the most with that passion. For example, we'll start off with backyard plinking, but you're going to have to guess in a moment what gun I'm talking about. We're going to talk about destructive critters. This balloon is going to represent target practice in the backyard. Personal defense. Some trick shots, you know, splitting cards in half, etc., etc. This balloon will be competitive shooting. A small number of you, and I've been there, enjoy air gunning for the competitive shots. And then large boar hunting. So let's get up there and I'll start shooting and you start guessing. Recently, several of you have asked, do I still have any of these caps or shirts still available? That list of deal breakers grown to over 100. Some stickers like these that you can put on a variety of things. And the answer is yes. We're low on certain sizes, etc. But at this moment, Dr. Pollard tells me we have some of everything. So I don't know how much longer it's going to last, but if you would like a hat, you like a shirt, etc., give me a call. Now you can call the 800 number, which will be shown at the end of the video. But you can also just call my personal cell phone, which is 248-496-2541. Talk to me, ask whatever questions you have about air guns, and place one of those orders too. I'm retired, so I'm available. You know, when we speak of clothing, I also have some of you ask about hats. They notice that my hats have a crease here, and they can't find hats like that. I can't either. Hats are kind of changing. Some have a big bill, very rounded on top. Not a lot of them have embroidery on the back. But I do something, I'll share it with you, with every hat I have, every baseball type cap I have. If you look right down in here, first of all, I want this military crease in a hat. So I'll take my hat and make a crease, and then I'll kind of bite it like that, creating the crease even better. And then I'm going to take some silicone glue and I dab a few dots, and then I just smear it with my finger. And once I do that, I then kind of tuck the hat in like this, and I put it on a counter, and I just leave it there for an hour or two. And it comes out with this military crease, which I happen to like. Anyway, for those of you who want that, our hats don't come with that. You got to put it in yourself, whatever hat you have. But if you like that, now you know how. Okay, our first passion is just backyard plinking. And if you'll recall, what do you think this gun is? Well, a multi-pump is a good solution, and the more we pump it, the more powerful it gets. You'll recall that Daisy shoots at about 350 feet a second, but Powerline, made by Daisy, and Winchester's Multi Pump also shoots at about 800 feet, 900 feet a second when you pump them up. These are the higher powered guns versus the lower power. Well, I see I've got a rabbit right down there underneath my target, but I'm not hunting today. I'm strictly showing you these passions of these balloons. We want to get this safety off here. That was easy. Another passion is shooting personal defense. Now, this handgun here, which happens, take a guess, what is it? It happens to be a Umarex Strike Point. Shoots 22 caliber pellets and BBs. And it's a multi-pump, like this. And it's a very good personal defense weapon. Again, I tell you, in personal defense, that you want to show the judge, you want to show police, you want to show the city attorney that you did everything you could not to kill somebody, because they're weighing out, why was that TV $500 worth taking somebody's life? So air guns play a great role when it comes to personal, not the full role, but a pretty good role. Okay, let's shoot out another one of those balloons. Just that easy. Can you guess which one this is? Well, now we're getting into PCP. And what I like about this one, and this happens to be the Avenger 22. It's a great target rifle, out to 40-50 yards anyway. And it's got a nice magazine, an easy cock, and a nice safety. But what I like about the Avenger and the other one is the Umarex Gauntlet. Here we have these guns that are often $300 to $400, depending on you want generation 1, 2, 3. But they also have a regulator, and that regulator makes sure that these shots are consistent for target practice. Just that easy. Sometimes I don't know if it's my wife, Dr. Paula, who's most anxious to get to the humor part of our videos. Frequently it's you, the viewers. Thanks for your hints that you like it and you want me to continue. A friend sent me 7 quick pieces of humor on the internet. He said, first, I thought my dryer was the appliance that made my clothes shrink. But what really made my clothes shrink was the refrigerator. Second was, camping is where you spend a small fortune to live like a poor person. Number 3. We've all had trouble with passwords in our computer. Which password? He says, my new computer password is close enough. Sometimes people see older people fall down. That's sad. But you need to know they're not falling down. They're just doing random gravity checks. 5, we all, myself included, we all need to be very careful if ever we downplay or degrade one of our helpmate or date or wife's spouse choices. You've got to remember that you happen to be one of those choices. 6, if you're having trouble losing weight, haven't we all? Trouble losing weight. You're going to have a whole lot better chance if you just change the program entirely to being taller. And the last one, common sense is not a gift, it's a punishment. Because you then have to deal with everyone who doesn't have common sense. Can you guess which one this is? One of my favorites. I think this was the second air gun I ever purchased as an adult from Crosman. And if you guessed Armada 25 caliber, you're correct. A nice bolt action. Safety. And this gun, well, I've shot a woodchuck out at 80 yards, so it's a fantastic gun in the 25 caliber. Just that easy. Well, as I've shared with you before, we have a lot of destructive critters around here, and when I say destructive, I mean destructive. Once these things get into your attic, basement, inside the walls, they can make a lot of noise. They can destroy a lot of stuff with their pee and poo, and quite frankly, there's even more than I can shoot, and I've shot a bunch. But I use these Have a Heart cages, which have a heart, and allow me to take them about 4 or 5 miles up the road where I release them into some new territory. So I do both.
We have so many critters here, they even come in the broad daylight.
Well, I think it's 7 of these have-a-heart traps, and I'm just stacking them up, getting them ready to go. But they are dangerous critters. Sometimes some of them can carry rabies. I can assure you that a raccoon, if it can lure your pet into the water, it has the skill set to kill in that water. But just to show you, oh, and normally he'll attack my hand and try to bite it. But here's one. They often try to get into this treasure mine, and even these bricks don't protect it enough. A small chipmunk in here. They put holes everywhere. And back in here's a smaller raccoon. He was caught overnight. Takes usually about the 3rd day is when they'll get your scent off of the cage, even though I wear some rubber gloves. As you can see, this bottom cage, I didn't catch anything, but the trap was set. And as you can see, the peanut butter and the peanuts that I put on that quarter of a paper plate down there are gone. So it's just another interesting chapter in taking care of destructive critters. Can you guess which air rifle this one is? This happens to be that Hatsan Factor. Got a nice long barrel. It's got the M16 type of adjustable stock. It's got quite a lot of features on it, but I haven't seen a lot of Factors win in competition yet, so I'm not, well, I think this rifle is super when it comes to competition. I think that probably the FX continues to take almost all that competition stuff, and I'll show you one of those in a minute. But what I like about this Factor here is you can adjust the power right here. It's regulated, and let's see what else. You can even adjust the hammer spring here. A nice magazine. It's got the big tube of compressed air on it. So in many ways, I think it's great. And I use this for target practice. Does a great job. And in 30 caliber, and I think they have a 30-inch barrel now. Probably deer hunting, antelope hunting, things like that. It can reach out. Well, let's just reach out and get a balloon right now. Beautiful gun, but hasn't been winning those big competitions yet. Well, can you guess which one this is? I consider this a great long-distance target rifle. It's got a long barrel. It's got a long suppressor. And it's also a great hunter. A great large bore hunter. As you can see, this Hatsan Pile Driver is shoots a big slug. I think this is around 336 grams. You must load them in one at a time. Close it up. The safety is down here in the trigger guard, and it does a great job on deer, elk. It can make a grizzly bear pretty mad, but it's a gun I like. In 50 caliber. Well, here's our 7th and last gun for our 7th and last passion, which is competitive shooting. Do you know what it is? Well, it's an FX. Some call it a bronze, I think, because of this here, but it's also referred to as the M3. I actually have 3 FX guns, and I don't have the third one here, which is an FX, long barrel, and it also has a lot of special work done to it. I'll show it to you here, but that's the one I do for competitive shooting. But I have to tell you, there are a few guns that have the accuracy of this whole FX brand. Now they're $2,500 and $3,500 guns, and I'm not suggesting any of you go out and buy them. I think that Hatsan Factor at about $800 is a fantastic bargain, and a good shooter too at long ranges. But if you're going to win in competition, it's these barrels that make the difference. The FX has a barrel you can hardly even see the rifling, but it's there, and it's smooth, and it keeps that pellet right on track. At any rate, it's regulated. It's got one of the largest plenums right here. This is a large plenum. Now this is where the air is kept consistently from this larger tank up here. But you can see here that we have air pressure. You can see that we have an excellent trigger. This FX has the 2 air pressure dials and a nice large magazine that goes back here. And this one does an excellent job, all of the FX, in competitive shooting. Well, as I said earlier, I've identified 7 passions. I'm fortunately involved in all 7 with various guns that I use all the time just to make sure I'm familiar with them and know how to use them. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If so, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, give us a thumbs down. I've got some great videos coming. You know, it's almost a passion. I don't bring it up in this particular video, but training your kids and your grandkids on how to use guns like this is something that's done on a step-by-step basis. And I have some gel blasters, some soft pels, some BBs, 17 caliber, and I have another video coming this year that'll show you, if you are the father of some young kids, if you're the grandfather, you want to bring them into this passionate world, I think you'll like that particular video when it comes. Meanwhile, leave a comment, question. Let me know how many of these guns you guessed correctly. And the thumbs up, subscribe if you will. We're almost at 20,000 and we're not even 4 years old yet, so Dr. Paul and I think that's a victory. I told you about the sale coming up, not the sale, but the last of these hats and shirts. Give me a personal call if you're interested in that last. I'm not sure what we'll do after that, but I have some at this time.